What have you done with Le Guru du MMA? I don't know what happened to Le Guru du MMA.
He's back, very much indeed.
I'm Peppa Pig.
They kind of run everything.
How would Usyk do against Prime Ali and Tyson? People don't like this take because they've seen highlight reels of some of these unk fighters at heavyweight in boxing. Usyk would school every heavyweight in the history of boxing. Fact. He would school Prime Ali and chin him within a few rounds. He would probably ride out Tyson, make him miss, school him, and then finish him in the middle rounds by TKO. Stiff uppercut up the middle, dude. The way he moves and the way he fights and feints and angles are just different than any other heavyweight ever in boxing history. I've watched old heavyweights fights in their prime. I haven't just seen highlights. Like, they're not as good, man. People saying Max didn't try to finish Dustin or Downs. I saw that, yeah, dumbass fucking take. The follow-up shot that he tried to land was intended to flatline KO Poirier. He just waited so he can get a proper shot off for it. He didn't hold back. He was looking for a flatline. Thoughts on Usyk owning pure British fighters? Dude, Europe wins. That's all I'm going to say about Usyk. And I'm glad for him. And I'm really glad for him, dude. A European dog with the heavyweight belts around his waist and arms. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Wait, linearly. It's been Usyk, Fury, Klitschko, right? In terms of lineal champions for the heavyweight belt. It has been Usyk, Fury, and Klitschko for the past, I don't know, past few decades, I would imagine. Lennox Lewis was yapping about how he would love to fight Usyk like bruh retired so he didn't have to face Vitaly a second time. Yapping about how he would love to fight Usyk like bruh retired so he didn't have to face Vitaly a second time. Yeah, thank you for the $5. Dude, all of these guys in the boxing scene are so salty about Usyk, and you know why. They don't like Usyk being the fucking face of heavyweight, that's for sure. But he's fucking amazing to watch. I love watching Usyk fight. In fact, chat, yes or no, I think Usyk made the UFC card look bad. Because it was the peak of his... Like, he is the peak of his craft, right? And then to go from that to watching Vinicius Oliveira and Kyler Phillips being considered top 15, and Brendan Allen, Marvin Vettori the same, it gave the UFC a bad look that night. No. Thank you for the $2. No bias? Yeah, I don't think he's biased, dude. I'm telling you, if Luis Ortiz's fat old ass can expose Wilder until like round 10 when he gets caught by a punch, Usyk can do it better than that and finish him. Usyk could finish Wilder. I want you guys to know that. Usyk could finish Wilder by TKO. We ain't playing this decision game anymore. He's taking out souls in the heavyweight division, dude. He's knocking motherfuckers out now. Thank you for the 2. Usyk's never felt power like Wilder. Yeah, never felt power like Wilder. You want to know why Usyk's never felt power like Wilder? Because you don't need to get hit by that shit. Dude, he's never felt power, dude. Usyk's never really been tested by power. Yeah, because they ain't hitting him with that shit, dude. End of. Ain't nobody hitting Usyk with some dumb shit. Swinging like a fucking tard. No one. So, not only has he never felt power like Wilder, even if they fought, he'd still never have felt Wilder like power like Wilder. Because he wouldn't fucking land a glove on him. He got schooled by Zhilei Zhang, some fat Chinese dude. Looks like a fucking turtle from over the hedge. But you think the slow Slav would touch a Prime Ali? Yeah, I would. And I tell you what wouldn't happen against Usyk and Ali. Usyk wouldn't get hit by an imaginary punch and sink to the canvas because the fights were fucking rigged. I'll tell you that much. The slow Slav would touch a Prime Ali. He absolutely would. Prime Ali was stood up against the fucking ropes still, getting his ass fucking whooped. I don't care if you've done a little footwork shuffle thing that you've seen a highlight video of. If you watch back Ali's fights, he weren't moving like that every round. He had bursts and moments where he would move well, and he would stop completely and be absolutely stationary for rounds on end. That is so true. And people who have not watched his full fights do not know that. But that is so true. He'd shuffle his feet and do a little move, and that'd be in the highlight video. You watch the other 11 rounds of that fight, and he's plodding around like a fucking tard. Sorry. Liston took 2 dives against Ali. Yeah, either way, all good, though. I like Muhammad Ali as a person, so I don't like diminishing him because I think he's a good dude. So, yeah. Highest ranked UFC heavyweight Usyk beats? I really think Usyk can pick up enough to stuff the takedowns of Tybura within 6 weeks. He grew up doing Sambo. Did you guys know that about Usyk? Usyk does Sambo, Judo, kickboxing, Muay Thai. Usyk would be the one to transition over. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. He practices Sambo. Usyk also trained in other various martial arts such as Sambo, Judo, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He does this shit for fun. Usyk's such a cool boxer, man. I'm not glazing, dude. Usyk's cool as fuck. And this answers the question. I think he would do well at the top of the UFC. He beats Waldo Cortez Acosta in the UFC, fact. Looking at boxing heavyweight history, only Mike Tyson. And only Mike Tyson because of his style. And I don't think he would. I think he'd whiff and get cracked and put away. Thank you for the 18 lira. How do you think Sonico... And let's face it, natural on natural... Tyson don't fucking stand a chance against Usyk. We're talking prime sourced up Mike Tyson. How do you think Sunico Inaba would do in the UFC? I have no idea. Who better boxing? Yan, I don't know who that is. Who's better boxing? Yan or JDM? Justin or Jose? Jose's got better boxing than Justin, but Justin's a better fighter now, obviously, in their career. Yan or JDM? Yan. JDM's is really good for welterweight, but Yan's got really nasty boxing. Impression of Dana White trying to convince BJ Penn that he's not a Joe Rogan clone just because he's bald.
Look at his fucking bald head. He's a clone. I'm not. What? I'm a clone?
Come on, BJ. Come on. Thank you for the 5. People forget, man. Delidze stole that little flyweight's wife and has had 2 kids with her. Genuinely craziness, and Delidze doesn't even acknowledge her. Wild, isn't it? Thank you for the $5, eh? That's how it be, yo. It's a crazy world out there. Coaches are holding back the evolution of the sport. In any other sport, coaches get fired when their teams aren't successful. Very, very true. Thank you for the $5. Very, very true. It's a little different of a dynamic, I'm sure you'll understand. But hey, I went into a bit of a deep conversation with DJ about Eric Nixick and what he's doing to his fighters in terms of their sparring heavy style. So we'll see. We'll see what people think about that. Marcus McGee is a big underdog. Who you got? I've got Peter Yan. After watching Oliveira and Phillips, I got Yan. I don't really care how you look against people outside the rankings. It's a different game up the top of bantamweight. Impression of Conor finding out Daniel Rodriguez is MS-13. Mate, Trump, look at him go. Look, he's escaping me. Get to him, yeah? Get to the guy. You're send him a fucking photo. If you could send anyone on earth into a fight to the death with Tom Aspinall, it'd be John Jones. Thank you for the $5. An impression of IMO Nixick's game plans for fighters is very bad. Majority of his fighters rigorously stick to a game plan, even when clearly losing. Bad at adjusting. I know. Thank you for the $8 Australian. They stay in that sparring mode. And he always has to plead with them to like do something different, even though he's conditioned them to be that way. I think they spar too much at Extreme Couture. Hope you get clobber knocked out cold. Thank you for the $2. In a response to a post-fight question, Dana said that he only walked about 15 steps on Bourbon Street before he turned around, got in his car, and left. Must have seen you live on TV at that bar. Maybe. Maybe. You never know. Thank you for the $10 Australian. I doubt that's why he left, but yeah, that'd be cool if it was. Thank you for the £10, Ash Lambert. Yes, Guru. After rewatching both 135 fights at 135-pound fights at UFC 318 and looking at 135-pound prime Henan Barao sparks all of them, apart from Sugar Sean and Yan. Remember when 135 was entertaining? I miss those days. I wouldn't say that he sparks all of them, to be honest with you. But I don't think that the sport has evolved as much as some claim it would to justify their GOAT positions. Thank you for the £10. I think that's very obvious the more time that goes on. Thank you for the 10. I didn't point to the ground versus Ilya, so the title wasn't on the line. I'm defending BMF champ. We didn't find out that particular Saturday night. Yeah, we didn't find out. Impression of Kayla hearing your impressions of her. All right, buddy, it's enough. You've had your fun and games, pal. Thank you for the $2. Did you see the bar playing your live stream? I did see the bar playing my live stream. Yeah, that's picked up some... It's actually picked up a bit of steam on IG. Funnily enough. You know? which is pretty fucking radical, dude. Yeah, here. It's actually got a lot of interaction. Yeah, 17,000 likes on Instagram, dude. Wild. Do you think Costa versus Robocop would be a banger? Yeah, but Robocop's got to earn something because he keeps getting these jump ups, so no. Thank you for the $5. The stench of Guru has something. Impression of Holloway: when the cops ask him where the body is, they take him in for questioning, only for him to give the same answer to every question. Holloway, you could save way more lives if you just tell us where that body's hidden, buddy.
We gonna find out Saturday night, baby.
I'm losing my fucking mind. Holloway, you're gonna go to jail for life if you don't start talking. So tell us, what do you know?
We gonna find out Saturday night.
Thank you for the $5. Appreciate you. Impression of Bryce walking into a mosque in the nude.
Oh, you fellas trying to throw down?
It's pretty cold in here. Thank you for the 2. Is Nina Mexican or Italian? Simon. Italian, I think. Rue, I heard your diabetes machine. Yeah, she is Italian, yeah, because fucking Leon asked if she was Arab.
Are you fucking Arab? Well, are you an Arab?
That's just Leon Edwards' PTSD from living in Birmingham. I didn't even realize that. When Leon Edwards was asking Nina Drama if she was an Arab, it was actually not even a question. He just had he had a PTSD Tourette's moment from growing up in Birmingham.
Ah, what are you, a fucking Arab?
That's what happens to a lot of Birmingham residents. It's just a natural tick that they have. Love your vids, Guru. What's your all-time fictional character title fight? And can you say Zev would KO Colby Covington? I reckon Zev would KO Colby Covington. That's what you're getting. Fictional character title fight. Or Boromir Faramir for, yeah, I reckon. Boromir Faramir would be good. While their dad's in flames. That'd be a huge matchup. Impression of Paddy and Tom watching you get KO'd by wings.
Bloody. You need to weave, Guru, lad. You need to do some fucking footwork, lad.
Hey, there's no fucking use, Paddy. He's fucking garbage. Are you Dane's Boar? I'm not Dane fucking Heavyfoot or whatever his name is Boar. Get rid of the BMF and replace it with a title of shame for boring-ass pathetic performances. Example for Batista after the Aldo fight. Yes, a title of shame. Yeah. You know what, chat? Yes or no? They need to bring back... You know when you engrave something into someone? Branding. They need to brand fighters across the forehead. Bitch. If they fight like a fucking pussy. Like Torres Finney against Robert Valentin. That's what they need to bring back. Now we're talking. Fuck this BMF belt shit. Do you call out DDP's gay tendencies like you do, John? No, DDP's an overall really good human being. And he ain't beat up no women. He ain't done anything along those lines. He ain't had a DUI. He ain't left a woman in a car crash and fled the scene. He ain't done any of that shit. So I have no reason to call out the fact that DDP kissed his coach a couple times. Thank you for the $2. Non-sexually. Like, I could make a video about DDP and do the same thing, but he's a good person. So that's not... I wouldn't make a video on Jones if he was the greatest person ever, because I'd have no reason to make the vid. That's all. Has anyone tried to harm your channel from the UFC? I don't think so, but no, I don't think they have. No. The second channel got taken down by the UFC company. Not taken down, but 2 videos got taken down. If I would have got a third taken down, then they would be able to just nuke me off YouTube. So I deleted the second channel. So then that way they have, but not my main channel, no. I use, like, it's all fair use content, you know what I mean? I'm very careful about that. Well, he beat up Izzy. That kind of counts. I don't know who we're talking about. They should have an underperformance non-bonus where money gets deducted from fighters' pay for shit fights. Now we're talking, Davey M. Now we're fucking talking. That's what I'm talking about. Impression of D. Diddy forcing Connor to send the pic. Do it, Connor, or I'll reveal what you did with Rita Ora. And what she gets up to in her pastime. I'm telling you. Thank you for the $2. Impression of Chael mastering lifting weights.
It's a very real thing. I can't stop looking at him. Just touch him. Just touch him with your cock.
If Dustin didn't retire, who would he fight next? Dan. maybe Pimlet. Maybe a Pimlet or a Gaethje or an Arman. Like, it would be him, Gaethje, Arman, and Pimlet. Those are the 4 horsemen right now. They would be the 4 horsemen. So it'd be one of those. Chat, it's okay to admit that an active boxer fighter can be the GOAT. Usyk is the GOAT. Resume-wise, no one comes close at the highest level. And resume, it's not even, I think he's the best you've ever seen. You know, I don't think resume-wise nobody comes close in history of boxing. I don't think that's true at all, by the way. So shut up. But I'd say he's the best. And he's probably the GOAT heavy. Dakota Trevor looks like a porn star. Alexa Grace, you're welcome. Horrible of you. Thank you for the $2. She looks a bit like Pimlet. Mushemi is just an MMA sketch with a shooter vibe. Yes. Yes, true. I hear it. That's exactly what he is. BMF belt should be Pride rules. You're killing me here, Braveheart. Pride rules. Dinav, you got any Pride rules? Thank you for the 5. Sure, it should be. I agree. It's pronounced Musameshi. Please, Guru. Mikey Musameshi. There you go. Impression of Mikey Musameshi. Impression of Mikey Musameshi. Noticing.
Just to correct you guys, they kind of run everything.
Sorry. Thank you for the $5. Are Rob and Donald top 15 strikers of all time? Donald Cerrone, is that what you're asking me? Robert Whittaker? No. Thank you for the 2. Maybe Whittaker, but I don't know. No, probably not. Not Donald Cerrone either. Le Guru de MMA has got it up, but it's got no views in 13 minutes, so he's not really one of the big dogs, you know?